Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. No, this is not the new workbench. This will be. This is the new workbench, but it's not finished. But I did come down here and work on it this weekend. I moved this out of the way, and now I'm going to bring it back. I glued these guys this weekend. I used epoxy because there were some gaps to fill. I think the epoxy did okay. I did this end completely wrong and learned my lesson and redid this end, and it came out much, much better. So this part is glued. It's pretty square. I now just have to clean up all this poured out epoxy. I'm going to be doweling these joints in the bottom here to keep them from twisting. That's a thing. So did that. That was a very frustrating thing. I should have asked for help. I discovered very quickly, for one, I don't know where it went. It's upstairs. I bought 10-minute or 5-minute epoxy, which is like you got like 3 minutes of open time, and it starts to set. So you really have to get this in clamps quickly. And so I was like rushing, trying to get it in clamps. So one of the boards needed to be kind of tweaked. I should have asked for help, but I didn't. So I did that, and then went upstairs and went to unload the dishwasher, and found that the dishes needed to be rewashed. Now, my dishwasher has been broken for probably at least 7 years, probably 8 years, maybe even a little bit longer. I've been here for 11 years, might have been 9 years. It's been broken for almost the entire time I've lived here. And not completely broken. Obviously, I've been using it all this time, but there was this part in the middle, this telescoping center thing that flung water around the top of the dishes. And I don't know how it broke. Not saying anything, about anybody. But at some point, one of the pieces, the telescoping thing, got a crack in it. Which means that every now and then, when you run the dishes, that top piece, the piece that actually does the spraying, pops out, and then the dishes don't get cleaned because they're just kind of gushing water in there. It's not holding the water pressure. Nothing gets washed. So I have to put it back together and go again. The part that's broken is like $200 plus shipping. It was plus everything was $250, and so I've just been dealing with it all this time. There was really no way to fix it. I don't think epoxy would have held under that kind of heat and pressure. I don't think anything would have fixed this. I maybe could have tried to plastic weld it, but I honestly don't think there was a way to fix it other than the $250 part. So I went on the dishwasher. I was like, this is frustrating. I had this stupid ass dishwasher. I have to run it again. And Em was just like, just buy a new dishwasher. I'm tired of hearing about it. She's heard about it for 5 years. It's just frustrating because every now and then I have to run it again. It does okay otherwise, but it wasn't 11 years old and it was getting kind of worn out. And so I did. Saturday I was like, you know what, fine, let's look it up real quick. We looked it up. She said, I want one of the dumbest dishwashers you can buy. I don't want smart appliances. I was like, I 100% agree. I don't think I need a smart appliance. The more that can go wrong with it, the worse off it's going to be. So I bought, I found that Lowe's was having sales. I ended up getting a brand new dishwasher for like $430 delivered. It came yesterday. Bam, here it is, new dishwasher. And I can tell you that in that moment, I did not feel that sense of what am I doing? You know how we just talked recently about that making expenses like that makes me feel icky. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. It makes me feel just not right, right? This time it felt fine. It was like, I can do this. I have the money. It's not an issue at all to buy a dishwasher. It's been a frustration for most of my life in this house. Let's just buy a dishwasher. So it showed up yesterday, and I was planning on working on this yesterday. I even asked Em, will you come help me this time? Because I have to glue up the leg sub-assemblies, and those I need to do some tweaking and stuff, and I'm going to be using that same 5-minute epoxy. to fill those gaps. The thickened epoxy is just to fill all the gaps where this thing goes on. She said sure, but then the dishwasher showed up. It came pretty early, like 1 o'clock or something. So I didn't pay for installation. Installation through Lowe's was like $200. I was like, it's 3 hookups, electric, drain, water, simple. I'll do it myself. No big deal. Didn't pay for haul away. We have a local appliance repair store that'll come pick it up. So I was like, I'm not paying them money to haul it away. I can get it hauled for free. So I spent that morning, unloaded everything, took the dishwasher out, put it out in the outside, out of the way, and just waited. They showed up, got the dishwasher. Lowe's sold me a hose kit, which I don't need. It was completely useless. It was a hose kit and like a plug. My dishwasher is just wired straight in, so there's no plug. However, it took me the entire day to get the dishwasher installed because I kept running into problems. When they installed the original, I guess they didn't feel like using a flex line that day, so they just ran 1/2-inch PEX over to the dishwasher. That's not the normal way to run it. So I couldn't pull the dishwasher all the way out because the PEX was catching, so I had to undo all of that, water all over the place, get the dishwasher out so I could clean all that up. Putting it back together, the new dishwasher came with a different style of fitting. So I couldn't reuse the 90-degree elbow that they had installed. I had to come up with my own solution, and I couldn't get that solution to work. I couldn't get the dishwasher in the hole because where the PEX came out, it was too high, so the dishwasher was hitting it, so I had to cut the cabinet out to lower that thing down. I mean, it was a whole frustrating day, and it was like, I got frustrated doing this thing, the top, because that was, I should have asked for help and I didn't, and so I got mad at myself about it, trying to rush to get it together. The same thing happened with the dishwasher. Not that I could have asked for help. There's no room. It's in the corner, like it's a corner dishwasher. Like it's not in the corner, but it's 4 inches away from the corner. So there's no room for anybody to help me. Like, what do you can stand there. Like, she handed me tools, which is the best help that she could provide. But it was just like, it was a very frustrating day. But in the end, I got the dishwasher in the hole where I want it, positioned side to side, all that sort of stuff. I just now, this morning when I dropped my kid off at school, we have a plumbing supply store that's been in business for like 60 years, family-owned store. I went over there and was like, help. I had taken a fitting and 2 fittings and tried to make a 90-degree elbow, but when it gets tight, it's pointing the wrong direction, so I couldn't hook the line up. I couldn't get it to seal. It kept leaking. So the guy, we cobbled together a bunch of stuff I need to go cut my hot water line and tap into it, and it'll work, but that'll be after work today. It was frustration. But, we had both the kids here finally. They hadn't been here together for a couple weeks, so we got to do some playing outside, hanging out. Roland's done with high school. Friday was her last day, so she doesn't have high school anymore. So, it was a good weekend. But it's one of those weekends where I learned that sometimes help is for one, I should have asked for help here. Sometimes help, especially in this kitchen job, was just dealing with me being frustrated because I got really frustrated. It was very frustrating at times, and Em handles that pretty well. So I'm very, very appreciative of her for handling it so well. But I have a dishwasher. And I didn't feel icky buying it. I did have the next day. I felt a little like that was a lot of money, and I didn't technically need it. I could have kept getting by with the one that I had. That's the way my brain goes. Like, why did you buy that? You don't need that. You have one that works. Like, technically it works, but it would be nice to have one that doesn't suck. So that's what I have now. What'd you do this weekend? Anything exciting? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is recant. It is a verb meaning to withdraw or disavow formally. I cannot and will not recant anything, for to go against conscience is neither right nor safe. Martin Luther, the father of Protestant Recantism. Recant. Recant. That's a Magic the Gathering card. That's how I. Yeah.